There's a beautiful Oyev Yisrael this week. Oyev Yisrael is written by the Apter Rav. Yes. So on the pasuk, Vayomer Yisrael al Yosef. So Yisrael said to Yosef, "Halayachecha roim b'Shechem." Your brothers are shepherding in Shechem. L'chol v'ashlachacha aleim. Go and I will send you to them. Vayomer lehineni. And he said to him, "I am here. I'm ready." So the Apter Rav brings a Medrash Pliya on this pasuk. The Medrash says Hadahu Damrinan, that this pasuk explains why we say L'dor v'dor nagid Godlach, L'netzach netzachim k'dishascha nagdish v'shivchacha lekeinu mepino l'yamash li'adam v'ad. I was the Medrash Pliya. I was just make.
Was one of the shayos. I can tell you L'dor v'dor. So Avraham Avinu answered the same way. Maybe.
Okay. So he says, he brings the Gemara and Masechet Bava Basra. The Gemara asks a stira between a pasuk, a contradiction between the pasuk in Yechezkel and the pasuk in Yeshaya. The pasuk in Yechezkel, it says that the Malachim have 6 wings. Shesh Knafayim Le'echad. The pasuk in Yeshaya says that they have 4 wings.
All malachim are the same? Is that the all means?
They're both talking about the Kislev covered. So we're talking about the same malachim. Each one is describing the image that they saw. So the Gemara answers Yechezkel was B'zman Shebeis Hamikdash Kayim, and Yeshaya was B'zman Shebeis Hamikdash Kayim. When the Beis Hamikdash was standing, the malachim have 6 wings, and when the Beis Hamikdash is destroyed, they only have 4 wings. So the Apter Rav says, what's pshat? He brings from Arizal that the 6 wings of the malachim represent, each one represents one word of Baruch Shem Kavod Malchus Le'elam Vod. Right, the 6 words, Baruch Shem Kavod Malchus Le'elam Vod. Each wing represents one word, and so it says. So Apter Rav says. So from Arizal that when Beis Hamikdash is destroyed, 2 of those words are missing. So Apter Rav says, my Rebbe, the Rebbe of Meilech of Lezhensk, says that which 2 words are missing? Kavod Malchusai are missing. That when B'zman She'ein Beis Hamikdash Kayim, the honor of Hashem's Malchus is not intact. So Kavod Malchusai is missing. He says, and that's why by Musaf, by Shemon Esrei, we say Galei Kavod Malchuscha Aleinu. We ask Hashem to reveal the Kavod Malchusai once again because the Kavod Malchusai is missing. Says the Apter Rav, I disagree, and I hold, says the Apter Rav, that the words Lo'ilam Voed are missing. Lo'ilam Voed means consistently, constantly, and if there's a time that the Beis Hamikdash is not standing, so Lo'ilam Voed is not, doesn't belong. So he brings another Gemara. The Gemara says that, I think it's the Gemara in Chulin, that Asidim Tzadikim Sheyemru Lefneim Kodesh, that the La'asad Lavai, the Malachim are going to say Kodesh, Kodesh, Kodesh to the Tzadikim. So the Chazal ask, well, if that's the case, then what is going to be the difference between Hashem and the Tzadikim? If they say it's Kodesh, Kodesh, Kodesh to the Tzadikim, so the Chazal answer that to Hashem they're going to say Kodesh, Kodesh, Kodesh Lo'ilam Voed. So he says, so you see that La'asad Lavai, there's such a thing. Lo'ilam Voed belongs to La'asad Lavai.
When does the Beis Hamikdash?
It's for a different reason.
What?
It's for a different reason.
Yeah.
Kaddish, Kaddish, Kaddish was not said by the Malachim. either Kadosh was said or Kadosh was said. The name of the Malach was either Kadosh or his name was Kadosh. There's another Gemara. And they said Kadosh. So either, whatever. Yeah, go on.
So he says, so you see the La'ilam Void belongs to the Lassad Lavai, and therefore he holds that it's La'ilam Void. So he says that this is Pshat in the, what you say, L'Davidar. It says, L'Davidar Nagid Gadlach. Rebbeinu Shleilam, for all generations, we're going to talk about your greatness. However, the Netzach Netzachim, however, the Lassad Lavai, Kedushascha, the Kedusha that you have now, the Kaddish Nagdish, we're going to have that Kedusha. I mean, the Tzaddikim are going to receive that Kedusha. You might ask if Shemchacha Lekenu. So what's going to be with the Rebbeinu Shleilam Shemchacha Lekenu? Mipinei Le'yamu Sh'Leilam Void. We're going to say, for the Rebbeinu Shleilam, we're going to say Leilam Void. So he says, here was the beginning of Golus. When the Yosef went to his brothers. That was the beginning of Golus. So, Vayomer Yisrael Yosef, Halo Yachecha Roim B'Shchem. Your brothers are shepherding in B'Shchem. B'Shchem is Rosh Hashanah, is Baruch Shem Kavod Malchusay. La'ilam Void is missing. Meaning, now that you're going, this is the introduction to Golus, where La'ilam Void is going to be missing. Halo Yachecha Roim B'Shchem. Says the Medrash, and this is why we say that David Nagid Godlach, the Netzach Netzachim, the Shascha Nagdish, Shemchacha Lekenu, Pinish Le'yalam Void, Mekvin Ne'emash Le'yalam Void.
That's fun.
Is that unbelievable?
That's fun.
Wow. Okay.
So I wanted to just to add a page that what we can understand a little bit the machlokes here between the Rebbe Melech and the Abderov. Rashi says in V'zos HaBrocha and the Pasuk Vayihi B'Shur Melech V'Yisaseh B'Rosh Ha'am Yachid Shivtei Yisrael. So Rashi explains. It says that the Jewish people will have a king when V'Yisaseh B'Rosh Ha'am Yachid Shivtei Yisrael, when we all come together as one. So Rashi says over there that the Rebbeinu Shleilam's Malchus is only intact when Klal Yisrael is Ba'achdus. So Bizman, so the Beis Hamikdash is destroyed because of Sinas Chinam, right? It's destroyed because there is no Achdus. So when there is no Beis Hamikdash, there is no Kvod Malchusai, right? Because Kvod Malchusai is only there by Yibishur Melech, only V'Yisaseh B'Rosh Ha'am, only when we come together. If we're not united, there's no Kvod Malchusai. That's why Rabbi Melech says there's no Kvod Malchusai. How does machlekes come about? Right? In the Neshama, we're all one. There's no question. In the Neshama, we're all one. It's just the gufim, it's the bodies that are chaluk, that are different. As Yidden, we're supposed to be focused on each other's neshamas, not on each other's bodies. On the eternity we're supposed to be focusing on our eternity and the eternity of others. We're not supposed to be focusing on the body that is mortal.
Really? I believe that. I don't understand.
When we're focused on mortality, that's when we have machlekes. So the Abderov says, how does machlekes happen? How is there a destruction of the Beis Hamikdash when there is no Leilam Void? If we're not focused on the eternity, on the nitzchiyas, we're focused on mortality. That's when we don't have it. So that's pshat the machlekes. But Kula Moedim, everybody agrees here that it has to do with Achdus. If there's Achdus, then we have Baruch Shem Kvod Malchus Leilam Void. If there's Shalom, if there is no Achdus, then we're either missing Kvod Malchus or we're missing the Leilam Void. So here also is the Yesod of Sinas Chinam. This is where it all came from, right? The Yosef and his brothers. That's where it all started, and that is where this whole thing of B'Shchem, of Baruch Shem Kvod Malchusa without the Leilam Void. Shemon Esrei ends with the bracha of Sim Shalom, right? And the last word of Shemon Esrei is Bishleimecha. Baruch Shem Kavod Malchusa Leilam Void. Bishlam Echad is Baruch Hashem Kved Mochus De'an Avoid. That is, how do we have Baruch Hashem? How do we get it back again? The Bishlam Echad, Baruch Hashem Kved Mochus De'an Avoid, through Bishlam Echad. If there's Shalom, if there's Aptus among us, we get back the Kved Mochus, we get back the De'an Avoid.
Your Chavrusa, one of your Chavrusas, Rabbi Feiner once said a word here. He said, in Sfar they say that Yiratzain in the middle of Al Kain Neshama. On the Kain Tzar, I'm sorry. Is Yiratzain?
Right.
That Yiratzain is essentially, if you look at the Yiratzain, it's about that we shouldn't be jealous, we shouldn't have pirud, and Mamela, the base of the
So another word, just before I want to say about the Chanukah also, but another word here is just could I share it with you? It's the Tfer Shlomo, the Domsker Rebbe had a chassid that was a well-to-do fellow, and he was once about tzedakah. He was once leaving his house to go to a shir. He had a shir every night in his medrash. He was leaving his house to go to a shir, and an ani came to the door. So he said to the ani, "Come back a different time. I'm going out to my shir now. Come back a different time." So when he got to the Beis Medrash, the Tfer Shlomo summoned him over to speak to him. So he said, the Tfer Shlomo said to him, "I have a kasha." In Parshas Vayeishev, Pasuk says, "Vayivasi Yaakov le'vadoi." Yaakov remained by himself. Vayovek ish imoi, and an ish wrestled with him.
Okay.
Rashi says, "Who's the ish?" Sashal Esav. In Parshas Vayeishev, this week's parsha, Yosef is lost. Right? When you say Eyu Ish, and Ish finds him and he asks him, "What are you looking for?" Says Rashi, "Who's Ish?" Malach Gavriel. So the first time he says, "I don't understand." So what is Rashi just saying? Convenience here. This is. It says Ish here. It says Ish here. It's either both Sashal or both Gavriel. Make up your mind. So the chassid realized that he wasn't supposed to answer. He was supposed to wait for the answer. So the. So Tfer Shlomo said, Tfer Shlomo answered, "I'll tell you." He says, when we find somebody, someone who sees a Yidden in trouble, and it says to Matavakish, "How can I help you?" That's Malach Gavriel. So he says, but if you have a case where a Yid says, "Give me a bracha," and the Ish says, "I can't because I have to go sing Shira," that's Sashal Esav.
I don't know how did he know that this occurred? That's the question. Wow.
It's a very sharp word, but it's...
Wow, that's a sharp word. I think I'm saying that over tonight.
Mm-hmm. So when you say I can't because I have to go to Shira, you're a Sashal Esav.
It's
That's
very
a
sharp
word from
word.
Well, Michael, what do you do with Talmud Torah and Kulam? Like, how do you balance that? Like, why was he so wrong?
No,
Could have waited a minute.
no, Talmud Torah connected Kulam.
Talmud Torah and Kulam, well, that's the middle of learning.
Well, you're supposed to take care of the need, or you're supposed to go learn?
No, but if somebody
Need.
you go learn, but if somebody approaches you and asks you for
Right.
something,
He's in a matzah there. Who was it that stayed over? It was I can't remember who it was. That
Should have invited him.
There was an usher that stayed up with the Aniyim on Yom Kippur night to say Tehillim all night. I can't. There's a mice like that. I can't remember who came over and said, "You go home and sleep. You're an usher. This is not your job. Your job is to say. Your job is to get stuck. Go home and sleep. Take a rest. Everything's fine." Yeah, it's good.
no,
You have to go to shir, but
what he told him was, all of a sudden you want to hang out with Daniel. That's what he told him.
no. It wasn't.
All year long, you were running away from him.
He wanted to act like an Aniyim. He's comparing himself to the rest of the year.
The Rambam says, "Mitzvahs ner Chanukah, mitzvah chavivehi ad moed." Interesting lashon Rambam. That was the halacha sefer, and here he seems to be getting all Hasidish. And mitzvah chavivehi ad moed is a very favorable mitzvah. So actually, there's now shaykhs this week's parsha also. So what's the Rambam saying? So this week's parsha, you have the thing with Reuven, right? Reuven trying to save Yosef, and the story of Bilah. So there's a medrash. The medrash says that Hashem said to Reuven, "Ata pasachta b'tshuva tchila." You started with tshuva first. Chayecha shebem mincha b'seh b'tshuva tchila. Right. So I swear to you, your descendant will start with tshuva. That's Hosea. Hosea said, "Tshuva Yisrael Hashem lekach." So everybody asks. All the Mauritians started and said, "Did tshuva kind of tshuva? Why is Reuven doing tshuva?" So I want to say it like this. There's a tremendous lesson we can learn from the Nes Chanukah, both from the Nes of the Mulchama and the Nes of the Hadlakas Neros. And that is that in both cases, there wasn't naturally possible for them to accomplish what they wanted to accomplish. Right? And the Mulchama was 12 Chashmonaim against a Greek army. It doesn't make any sense. And here, by the Ner Chanukah, there was only enough for one day. In both cases, what the Klal Yisrael said to themselves was, all that the Rebbeinu Shalom wants me to do is what I can do. I need to do whatever I can do. Whatever I can't do, He doesn't expect of me. I need to do whatever I can do. If I do whatever I can do, the Rebbeinu Shalom will take care of the rest. But that's not my problem. So you had the Chashmonaim, and they knew they all had a Greek army against them. We're going to do whatever we can do. And sure enough, the Rebbeinu Shalom came through for them. The Chanukah, we knew we only had enough for one night. we lit whatever we had for one night, and it lit for the Rebbeinu Shalom takes care of. A Yid needs to do whatever a Yid can do. Chavis Al-Bava says that when it comes to tshuva, it works the same way. That there are times when a Yid knows that they can't rectify everything that they've done. So whatever, whether it's Gezela and they stole from the Tzibur, and then whatever, there's so many times that Yid forgot whatever they've done already. When it comes to tshuva, says Chavis Al-Bava, a Yid needs to do tshuva on whatever they can possibly do. The Rebbeinu Shalom will take care of the rest. And the Me'am Chaim says that's why it says Shuva Yisrael ad Hashem Aleikach. Do tshuva until Hashem your God. Meaning, do tshuva to the extent that you can do tshuva. Whatever Hashem needs to do, Hashem will take care of. But we need to do tshuva ad Hashem Aleikach. So this concept of doing whatever we can't do is called ad. Until just do as much as you can do. Says the Rambam, mitzvahs ner Chanukah, mitzvah chaviva. You know why it's such a favorable mitzvah? Because ad ma'oid. It brings out the ad in a tremendous level. That's fine. Yeah. It brings out the ad on a tremendous level. A person needs to do whatever they can do. Reuven knew he had to do tshuva from Hasabila, right? And he knew that his tshuva was, or he messed up with Yankiv, with Yankiv and Rachel, he messed up with that. He's got to correct that. And the way he's to correct that was to bring Yosef back. Throwing Yosef into the pit, that's what Reuven said to do. That's not saving Yosef. What's full of Nachash Makrabim?
He's going to take him out.
What?
He's going to take him out of the pit.
Right.
No, there was a
Nachash Makrabim in there.
There's no different part in that. If he
What Reuven knew was, right now they want to kill him. Right? All I can do right now is save him by a few minutes.
If I tell him and take him back, they're going to kill him anyway.
Right. All I can do is save him a few minutes by having him thrown into the pit. It was this concept of ad. And says the Rebbeinu Shalom says to Reuven, "Ata pasachta b'tshuva tchila." You opened up tshuva without knowing how it's going to end.
The concept of ad.
Chayecha sheben bincha. Your grandson is going to say Shuva Yisrael ad Hashem Aleikach. Your descendant is going to say Shuva Yisrael ad Hashem Aleikach.
You're going to bring out.
You're going to bring out this concept.
Did come from Reuven? From Shea
Yeah,
Reuven?
he's a.
Yeah, that's the whole word.
That's the right. Anyway, we should be saying that.
You started. You started your tshuva.
Kain Adam, they did tshuva. They did full tshuva. You did tshuva as much as you could.
And you showed that.
You showed that that's what he needs to do.
Who was the Mashgiach